Okay. Yeah. Uh, yes, Mukhtar. I hope you're studying on the on track. Okay, whatever we are covering here. So you're going through. I hope you are going through the study material as well. Okay. So let's see. Uh, Today we'll continue with the session. Last we left some part in the last session, so we couldn't cover those parts and some concepts regarding the same one. Okay,
Yes, sir.
okay. So we'll try to cover these from the same session. Okay, few of the fields of the translation that I couldn't explain you in detail, and few of I explained you in detail. Okay, so whatever we left yesterday, left behind, so we'll try to cover today. Okay, let's let's go to the screen. I'll share my screen. I'll go to the presentation. Okay, once you see
Okay.
the screen, please make sure that. Sorry, I hope that my screen is visible. Okay. uh,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Now,
yes, sir.
please.
Yeah, visible.
yeah. Okay, so I hope that you have received a good idea about the fields of translation, that as we have spoken about some of the fields like administrative field. Okay, what we do translation in a different way. Okay, then we have seen some of the some samples of, like, what kind of language we have in the administrative language. Okay, so one field
Mm.
there, and then second one is this humanities. Okay, language of translation in the humanities. Here we have some of the, okay, translation and humanities subjects. Okay, we have seen this also. We have got some of the crucial information from this. Then we have covered a few points from this translation in social sciences. Okay, whatever the subjects covers in this, and whatever subject comes in the in subjects come in this category. So we have discussed this. Social sciences. Okay, language of social sciences. This part we discussed, and then after this part, then we stopped our session yesterday. Okay, so we'll
Yes,
try
sir.
to cover the rest of part. Okay, and then the second session, sorry, second part also, we have some of the fields, some of the other things also related to the same paper that we can say we have here. Okay, so we'll take a recap later on. Okay, so some of the part I could not cover, so we'll try to cover this. Okay, social science language, conceptual language here, simplicity, objectivity, narrative, abbreviations. How is it is the language used in the social sciences? I have discussed here. And then later, uh, we were here on this point, challenges in social science translation. Okay. See, I will tell you one very common thing. Okay, some of the points in the challenges and problems in each sectors or each field of translation is, like, you will feel somewhere the points are same. Like using vocabulary, using meaning, understand the linguistic elements. Okay, these kind of parts, whatever we have, those parts will be commonly used in all the challenges. Okay, challenges in the challenges in the social science translation, challenges in the humanities translation, challenges in the science and technological language. Okay, so overall, some of the points or some of the few of the concepts, or some of the, what we say, that the challenges will be everywhere. Only the part is that according to the field, according to the subject, and according to that stream, we have some of more technical words or technical things there. Okay, so challenges, you will feel some parts or some challenges are everywhere in each field. Okay, let's see challenges in social sciences or social science subject translation. The very first challenge is translator must have the subject knowledge. So this challenge will be in the humanities also. Humanity challenges in the humanity social challenges in the humanity subject translations. So no matter that you are translating a particular thing, or no matter that you are translating a certain text, the subject knowledge is essential in each kind of translation, not only in the social science, not only in the humanities, and not only in some of the particular. Okay, so but you should understand this translation is the subject knowledge should be there when you're translating any kind of document. Okay, and then problem selection of vocabulary in particular area or particular subject area. Like for example, the knowledge of words, vocabulary, sentence, idioms, phrases. Okay, whatever the words we use, a particular we can say terminology. We can say we should use in a proper way, as we have studied in the very foundation of this course, the registers and registers of different subjects. Similarly here also, that point, the same point will be here, will be applicable here when you are translating a particular thing. So for example, you are translating history book, translating his history book, then the words of history, the structure of the sentences of the history book. Okay, some of the symbols, some of the short forms, abbreviations, everything will be there. So which will these all things will come in under the category of vocabulary. So vocabulary should be very clear. A good knowledge and command over this vocabulary should be there with the translator. Okay, these two things, subject area and vocabulary. Then problem of alternative and word selection. Sometimes you feel a particular word, it will be fit in that, but as per the context. Okay, as per the context, sometimes that word will convey some different meaning. Okay, some different meaning. So we should be very very much aware about the alternatives and as per the word selection. Okay, don't forget my example of restaurant. Okay, that will be a highly important in the field of translation. Okay, so selection of word is, it's up to you or up to your understanding. Okay, so what you feel good about some kind of text, a particular text, a certain text, then you should be able to select some of the particular words to translate that. So it's up to you how you are going to make that particular text meaningful. Okay, so you should have a good knowledge about alternatives and selection. Then the next one, problem in creating new words. Okay, we have studied morphology in the initially we have studied the elements of linguistics like morphology, phonology, and other things. So morphology in English, generally there is a scope to create some words. Okay, those who have good command over English, so they can create some new words with using suffixes and prefixes. Okay, sometimes using some of the collocative words. Okay, like but what we have, together two words we use. Okay, we make it together and then we write it in a different way and convey some kind of different meaning. Okay, so for example, take example of this heavy smoker. Heavy and smoker, smoker is who smokes, okay, cigarette, whatever. Okay, and then heavy, which is completely related to the measurement of weight. Okay, how heavy is it, maybe kilogram and whatever measurements we have. So sometimes we are unable to create new words. Okay, but you have the opportunity to understand the context of that text, and then you can create some new words. But many of time you may feel in the translation of your task. Okay, so you will feel that creating some new words is highly difficult in some cases or in some particular translations. Then number last one, knowledge of historical and cultural references. Okay, now while astrological or some of the social science books, like you're, for example, you're writing about history, some of a great king's history, or maybe a history of a particular province, or history of anything. So in that case, you should know the background, how that how that story, has started, or how people were living their life. What was the what is the what is that, the culture behind that, what was the societal or a social picture or philosophies behind that particular incident or particular story. So in that case, whenever you are writing about social sciences, so you should have a good knowledge about historical aspects and cultural references and aspects of that particular translation. For example, you are translating one of a story of Bonaparte, Napoleon Bonaparte, translating in from English to your language, your country language, your national language. So in that case, you should be very good in the knowledge of like whatever you are translating. You should have a background knowledge about the Napoleon Bonaparte, his politics, his social approach, his background, what how was he, what was his philosophy, okay, and then what he did. Okay, so the complete information, complete knowledge of historical and cultural references must be you must there with you as a translator. Okay, see, these all challenges are very common. Okay, whatever I'm giving you, maybe next in the next slides also some in some of the cases, or maybe in the next session, forthcoming sessions also, we are going to study the challenges of in many cases. So you should understand what is the core part from the challenges. When we think about challenges in translation, then what is the core part, what is the common part, what is the common thread that everywhere this problem is creating in the translation. Okay, so maybe this will be you will feel these are very common, or maybe you will feel, you may feel that we are taking it again and again the same point, like vocabulary area, command on vocabulary, or language, knowledge of language, or knowledge of subject. Okay, so these all will come because this is the thing that we can consider as a core to translation, because these are the major issues, major challenges, problems who any translator in the world face, okay, commonly face. Okay, so remember these challenges, or maybe you can create some more challenges. Okay, you can write it down, you can create on your own points in these particular challenges in the social sciences, or maybe in the challenges in humanities, scientific, language, or whatever. Got it? So these are the challenges in the social sciences. Then the another field of translation, scientific and technological translation. Okay, we studied administrative, we studied humanities, we studied social science, and then we are coming this, we have here with this scientific and technological translation language. Innovative technology and scientific discoveries are studied in this literature. Now, as we have some of the particular subjects in the humanities, social sciences, similarly here also I have not put here the sub name of the subjects, but you can just guess some of the science subjects like physics, chemistry, mathematics, astronomy. Okay, astrology, geology. Okay, whatever comes in this in a very scientific way. Okay, so these subjects we translate, and we call it that scientific and technological translation. That okay, some of the discoveries, some of the scientific innovations, scientific discoveries, technological what we say that revolution, technological innovation, some new technology has come, some new technology has emerged. Okay, so all these will come in this particular translation field. Okay, the books of science, books of technology, books of ideas of technology, science, and everything will be covered in this science, scientific, technological translation. Okay, now here also we have some of the challenges in the technological translation. You may have, I'm not sure, but you may have a question about the challenges in the translation. Maybe the question will be on the challenges in the translation of scientific and technological literature or language. Okay, maybe you may have a question like challenges in the humanities, challenges in translation of humanities subject, or maybe a very common or general question will be there. Challenges of translation. Describe the challenges of translation or discuss the challenges of translation. I'm giving it this again and again with very different dimension. So please catch this common thread in this particular concept. What are the challenges in the translation? So you will be like having a good knowledge about the problems of translation, and then you will be automatically will solve the whatever this difficulties you have in the translation. Okay, these are the challenges in the technological literature when we translate. Need to have a good knowledge about or of science and technology. Of course, if you're translating in any science or technological book or technology book, then you should have a good knowledge about it. For example, if I'm translating one of a book from physics, a book regarding chemistry, book regarding geology, okay, botany, zoology, these all science books, we whatever we have subjects we have, if I'm translating it, then I should have a good knowledge about the science words or science sentence, ideologies, ideas, okay, sentences, okay, whatever comes in that. So as overall whatever I'm trying to tell you, that good knowledge about the subject. Okay, you cannot translate like you are from the particular background of arts and fine arts, okay, maybe from some other discipline, then you will not you cannot translate the science subjects. Why? Because you don't have a good knowledge about it. All right, so whether you are trying if you are trying to translate a particular science book or technology book, then you should have a good knowledge about that subject. Whatever, the words like equation, words like dimension, words like mathematical measurements, okay, some of the formulas, okay, whatever questions, whatever the concepts like this comes in that, so you should know about that. Many of time, in if you see English in technological literature or technological book, scientific book, then you will see the language of the science books will be completely different, because there are this language, this particular language is full of formulas, equations, symbols, okay, measurements, and specifically abbreviations in the writing. So if you know the abbreviations, formulas of particular things, equations of the particular thing, then you will be able to understand it, and then you can write, you can translate it. If you have any problem there, a problem or a scientific situation, or maybe a scientific problem on the in the text, and then how you are going to translate it? You have to understand it first. You cannot translate word to word, then that will be a literal translation, you are just providing the synonyms for one word. No, you should understand what are the formulas, whatever the equations, symbols, abbreviations in the writing people use in the science books. Understand my point? So formulas, equations, symbols, and the abbreviations are very important in the science translation. Okay, knowledge of weight and measurements vocabulary. Okay, knowledge of weights and measurements, and maybe not only the weight, about weight, but height, okay, dimension, okay, whatever the measurements regarding these the different elements of science, like weight, what we say that, land, okay, if you're taking the measurement of land, okay, height, okay. So these simple words we have, like this weight, height, and dimensions like this, but we don't know the exact the meaning of that and how to use those exact words in the sentences. But if you have a good knowledge, good vocabulary, then you will be understand and you can translate in a very well way. Then knowledge of references. Knowledge of references, of course, if you are this will be not only related to the challenges in the scientific and technological literature, but knowledge of references also may this point may also be in a different subjects, like humanity subjects, whatever. When you're writing or when you're reading a philosophical book or a literary book or whatever the books you are reading, so you may have come across with the with some of the references from different places, different historical events, okay, or maybe reference of some of the people in the reading, okay. So in that case you should have a good knowledge about the references as well. Suppose for example you are reading an English novel, okay, you're reading an English novel and there are so many references in references from Indian politics, okay. So you cannot translate what you feel and you write it, and what about the whatever you know the about the incident and sentences from the text. But whatever the references are coming from Indian literature, politics, or from different countries, or from the India specifically, then you should understand what are the references, why the reference is that, okay. And of course you should have good knowledge about that reference also. For example, I'm sorry, a reference of Taj Mahal is coming in one of novel from English, then you should understand what is it like, whatever the context is there about the Taj Mahal, then if you know about Taj Mahal, and then you will be able to understand the reference as well. So it like, commonly what he says, what it conveys, that you should have a great reading also, okay. Great reading, huge reading. If you are good reader, then you can write many things, okay. So similarly, if you are reading, it means that you are aware about many things in the writing, and then you are aware about that, then you will be very good in the translation. Understand my point? So translation in the technology is highly difficult, because the language which we use, a scientific or technological language, is completely different than the regular language. So that's why the quotations, equations, formulas, symbols, weight, measurement of different things, whatever the symbols we have, okay. So we everything we should know, and then we can translate in a very perfect way of a particular text or particular whatever you are just getting for the translation, okay. So this was like, all the fields, initial fields also. Let's see, we'll continue with this next also, that whatever we have in the same related to the same things, okay, fields of translation. Let's see what other we have in this in this today's session also, okay. So please remember this: translation of social sciences. Initially we studied language, okay. How is social science language? Conceptual language, or maybe simplicity, objectivity, or narration and abbreviations, okay. And then we studied this, what are the challenges in this social science translation. These challenges will be very common here on the screen, okay. You will feel this, definitely, I know that. But when you go through the study material, you will feel like, these are the foundational, okay, these are the basics, and then on the basis of this, you can study more challenges in from your study material, okay, which is available on the portal, okay. So challenges in this social science, and after that scientific technology and scientific and technological translation, or literature, we can say. We study here, we studied here, and then major challenges in the technological issues, sorry, technological science, technological books and science books, okay. So whatever the literature we have in this particular field, so how to translate in there, what are the requirements, what we say that, and how it is important to translate, these all things we should understand, and we should learn from the study material. Okay, so let me go to the next one. I have another presentation for the continuation of this. Go to the another. Give me a time. Oh, give me a minute. I'm just starting with the another presentation.
Okay, Professor.
Okay. Okay, so this is the next part. Okay. This is the next part, whatever fields we have studied here. The administrative field, humanities books, social science books, and then science and technological books or literature, we can call it. Okay. So we have studied these all. For today, we have some of these, like, whatever we have here, some of other more fields in the translation. So let's go through these all things. The very first for today's session is legal law or legal literature and translation. Okay. Remember this: the registers of the subjects or register of a particular language. This the basic thing will be everywhere. Okay, if you understand the concept of registers in English, so it will be this everything will be very simple to understand. Okay, so here legal law or legal literature, law literature and translation. Okay. Now, what is it? Legal translation. Sorry, legal literature. It is a language of legal system, and it's a law. Like, for example, law controls and regulates the society. Now, basic idea about you should understand legal literature is concerned with the judiciary system. Okay, a legal system of any country, not only about India, but even you also have some of the legal departments, okay, courts, we can say, okay, judiciary system or legal system to control the people, to control this country, control the society, and to make people to follow certain rules and regulations for the betterment of the society, betterment of the country. So we have law and order and legal things, the legal system in each society, each country. Okay, so how to translate these legal translation, legal literature into the target language or whatever language we have here. Okay, this is another field of translation. Okay, please remember this: these are the fields of translation. Every field requires some kind of technical knowledge, some of the technical issues, or some of the technical what is the terminology, sentence pattern, grammar, and whatever. Okay, so please remember this: whatever the field I am telling you, these are very crucial to for your exam also, and for your knowledge also in the future, as to become a good translator. Okay, so legal literature and its translation. Let's see what we have here. Now, features of legal language. Now, what is the language? Legal language, language of legal system, language of laws, language of judiciary system. Okay, understand? Now you may have I guess you may have a good experience about the language. Have you seen the language, how people, how lawyers use, how the people use in the courts, okay, judiciary system or legal system? If you don't know, if you know, that's better, good. And if you don't know, then please, if you have any friend or anything like that, or maybe you can just Google it, how that words, sentences are used in the legal language. You can see that. Okay, so language will be completely different here. So features of legal language. Okay, understand legal language, language of a law system, legal system. Now, what are the features? Okay, let's see. Number one, significance of words and terms of legal system. Okay, significance. There is a some of particular significance for the for particular terms in that particular legal system. Whether it is whether it is a legal system from your country, whether it is legal system from India, US, or any other society or country. Okay, some of the terms every country have in every legal system, like for example, Indian Penal Code, Indian Contract Act, Indian University Act. Okay, like whatever, like, different acts, and the terminology, terms we generally use, because it has some kind of meaning behind that. Okay, so one term, if you are using it like Indian Penal Code, it is conveying many things in the communication of legal system. Okay, so it means that Indian Penal Code, according to Indian Penal Code, However, you are using these terminology, these words in the communication in legal system, that creates a particular, a special meaning in that particular special case. Okay, so significance of words and terms of legal system. It has a lot of significance in the system of legal system of in the communication of legal system. Two, unity in the meaning. Now, see, in the literature translation or literary translation, you will feel that people or authors, poet, writers, autobiographer, biographer, these all people can use, or they are free to use different words and different meanings or figurative language, like whatever they can use a creativity in the language to convey, or to convey some kind of different messages. But here unity in the meaning. Okay, like see, this meaning of act, laws, rules, and orders are interpreted in the one meaning. Same meaning is everywhere. Okay, one word, like the legal system cannot, cannot do like this. Okay, that one word is using, but it has different meanings. Okay, one word, different meanings. It is not possible in the legal system to, but because it will difficulty, it will create some kind of difficulty to understand the basic things or basic thing about that particular message in the legal system. Okay, so they cannot do that. Okay, the legal system translators, their job is to, like they have to interpret the meaning, what exactly is about that word. Or in the translation also, or in the writing also, the writers and the translators cannot what is that, cannot use some kind of different meaning, different word, or maybe a different kind of figurative language as we use in the literature. Okay, so unity in the meaning, one word. If a lawyer is using, if somebody is using there in the legal system, so the one meaning will be there in any kind of all the kind of situations. Okay, so unity in the meaning, the only one thing is about the meaning is the same everywhere in any of the matters. Okay, now you can take this example, Indian Penal Code. Now, Indian Penal Code, the term whatever we have in the legal system is Indian Penal Code is the single word is this and the single meaning is there for this. Okay, understand? So unity in the meaning is very important in the legal system. Otherwise, if I am using some other figurative language and writing something or translating something, then it may have a different meaning, or maybe it may have a different kind of, it may create some kind of confusion to the readers or confusion to the listeners. Okay, this is very important. Then three, interpretation by court. Interpretation by court. Okay, some of the words we cannot use from here and there. If you like, for example, you want to use a particular word, and just you're looking for that word in the dictionary of English, and then trying hard, and somehow you can, somehow you have you've found that, and then you can use it in the translation. It is not like in the legal system. Okay, interpretation by court, whatever the court, whatever
Professor,
this. Yes.
I have a question.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, for example, for example, can when you are translating maybe legal documents, is it in order, for example, you translate motto or a stamp? For example, the stamp can be in English, and then you translate
Hmm.
it maybe to Spanish or to French. Is that
Hmm.
possible? And also, can someone also translate maybe a motto? Let's say, for example, you are given the the motto for the US, maybe
Hmm.
CIA or maybe FBI. Can you translate it because it is in English? You translate it to any other word. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, of course you can translate it, but the particular terminology should be available in the target language. Okay, now whatever, like CIF example you are giving, or some any organization like FBI, or maybe any other organizations from other different countries, whatever they have created a motto, whatever they have created the stamp, it is based on their cultural representation, or the social representation, or social knowledge, or social identity. Okay, so while translating the motto, whatever the objectives, whatever motto they have, so we should be very aware about the target language. If we are able to translate it in the different target languages, then we can absolutely do that. And of course you have lot of options in the target language also. It doesn't mean that a particular word is not there, so we cannot translate it. Of course, no, we can translate, absolutely translate. No, there is no doubt in the translation of anything you can translate. But just it's your duty to find out the exact terminology, exact vocabulary in the target language. And for that you should have a good knowledge about the target language. Okay, so motto also, or any kind of written work of any country's organization, or any organization in the world, you can translate it. Okay, but before translating any kind of like this, see, whatever the motto of CIF or any organization, that will be official. Okay, because they have written, why they have written, because they have certain things in their mind to behind creating such kind of motto, like 1 2 3 4, whatever one, or maybe what one will be there. Okay, so the background should be, like you should understand, and then you can translate it in as per the whatever rules we have as in the translation. So you can translate it, no problem. Okay, so interpretation by quote, what I was telling you, that very important. You cannot find any dictionary and use any word randomly. Absolutely not. We cannot do in the legal system, because whatever the legal system prescribed the word from that particular dictionary, from the particular dictionary of legal system, or from the particular court, the authority, juries, whatever they have given a certain words in the using in the legal system, that only we can use. We cannot create a new word. We cannot use as a creative word. No, whatever is there by court, by law, by the legal system created, that we can only use. No, okay, no any other word. The court derives the meaning. Only court decides the language of law. Court decides the limit and boundaries of language. Okay, legal system is perfectly very strict. Okay, that you cannot translate anything randomly, like you translate a particular novel or a particular literary thing in your translation task. It is very restricted, very like what is that, bound to some of the particular vocabulary. So we cannot go beyond that, because the meaning is very important in the legal system. Because whatever I want, okay, whatever I feel, whatever I want to tell, I should tell exactly using the correct appropriate words. I cannot I cannot make any what is that, confusing words or confusing sentences in this. Understand? Then number 4, precise and definite meaning. Precise and definite meaning. No any other meaning can be conveyed through the words, rules, acts, symbols, etc. Create the spatial meaning. Okay, all right, so as I told you that they have particular words, particular terminology, which conveys particular meaning, and that is the most important thing, that defining or definite meaning with what we have behind every word, or each word in the legal system, is very much important. Okay, so precise, their language is very precise. They don't write like pages and pages and pages, many pages. Okay, they don't like to write, or even they don't write whatever the matter, whatever happened, okay, whatever that report is there, so they will make it precise to understand everybody. No need to write like flaws and sub flaws and whatever sub stories, whatever comes in that. No, they will make precise, this is the story, these are the things, and that should be conveyed to the judge, that should be conveyed to the public, that should be conveyed to the whatever people regarding this, people are concerned with the legal system. Okay, then number 5, subtle meanings. Even smallest word, symbol, act has meaning. Okay, so the direct meaning we have, okay, every word we have a direct meaning. If so, like say, see the example of like crime. Now, what is the meaning of crime? Doing something bad. Okay, of course there is no any other meaning or similar like other connotative meaning. Crime is crime only. Okay, murder. Okay, sentence, punishment, death. Okay, see this, all words, even the smallest word has in this system, the all smallest words or even one smallest word also have like it has like a particular meaning, a direct meaning that people will be able to understand. Okay, they're like whatever it's in the crime, uh, mm, corruption. See, all the words you take, any word you can take from the legal system, okay, that will completely give you a particular meaning in your mind. Take any example in your mind and see what comes in your mind. Okay, kidnapping, abduction. Okay, take any word in mind and you can think what does it mean, that the particular meaning will come into your mind. There is no confusion in the legal language. Understand my point? But in other language like literature, like social sciences, it may have the scope to use different words and sentences to convey the meaning, convey the action from that particular language. Okay, but language of legal system or law language or law literature, legal literature is very restricted to the that particular their own registers of language. Okay, all the related words only use, no synonyms, no nothing, no interpretation, interpretation. Meaning should be in very unite way. Okay, unity in the meaning we can say. Okay, it's a definite meaning should be there. These all come in this particular language or features of language of legal system. Okay, challenges in the translation of legal language. Okay, excuse me. Okay, challenges in the translation of legal literature. Now, what is legal literature? I told you the whatever written in the reports, maybe story of legal system or process of legal system, whatever has written from that particular field, that will come, that will know as known as a legal literature. Now, what are the challenges? See, spatial expression or expressive words problems or problem. See, spatial expressions are there. As I told you, the words related to the legal systems are completely different than the regular words. Okay, then expressions, whatever expressions they are using, that will be a problem in the translation. Okay, if you don't have a particular word or sentence for the expression, then you will not be able to translate it. Okay, it happens because we have a lot of languages in the world. Take example of India. Number of languages we have, and in all the languages that legal system is there. So when you're translating from one another language, from one language to another language, then you may feel some difficulty about the spatial expressions. Okay, I'm not telling it. Okay, this will be problem for all the time, everywhere. No, in some cases, in some of the text of translation can be found. You can find these problems. Then the next one, conceptual words translation may have another meaning. Okay, whatever the conceptual meaning, a literal meaning of a particular word may have a different meaning in the other language. So this may be a problem. So it's better to use the exact vocabulary, exact word what we have in the legal system. Okay. Then specific use of words, for example, verdict, law, act, victim, crime. Okay. The accused. Okay. Then like these kind of words we have. These particular words are used in the specific form. Okay. And again and again these all words will be using in the different matters. Okay. So some of the specific words from the.
Professor, thank you very much, Professor. I have a question.
Yeah, please, please.
Yes, take for example, there are some words which are hard, especially the vocabularies. They are hard to translate in dialect or to another language. How do you go about it? Do you? I don't know. How do you go about it?
Sorry, well, can you just say what you're saying? This, please again. Come again.
I'm simply saying that, for example, I want to translate a word from English
Hmm.
to French, and it's a
Hmm.
vocabulary.
Hmm.
How do you go about it? And also, take for example, there are some proverbs you want to translate
Hmm.
from one language to the other language. How do you go about that?
Hmm. See, in such cases, we find some of the proverbs, idioms, phrasal verbs. Okay, but take example of English. Let me simplify in a more better way. Take any proverbs or maybe phrasal verbs or idioms or any thing from the one language from English. Okay, see, English culture, the tradition and culture and society and everything, and then you can understand how it has been written. This is the background of writing this. Okay, but when you're translating in the target language, sometime many of time it happens that these similar proverbs or similar idioms or similar what is that phrasal verbs or phrases we can find. Okay, many of time. Sometimes it happens that you will not be able to find a particular translation of a particular phrase or proverb. So you need to do in that case what you need to do, you need to you need to use alternatives. No, you need to use see, in the source language a writer has or author has used only proverbs, and I'm getting a difficulty in translating in the target language because the target language has no any related or similar proverbs. Okay, whatever the source language have. So in that case you can use an alternative words. No need to use proverbs for the proverbs or idioms for the idioms. Okay, in that case, when you feel we do not have any alternative, when you feel we do not have the similar meaning, the idioms or whatever phrase or maybe word, when you feel like this, then the only option you have to use alternative, or maybe you can use a particular word to convey that particular meaning. That is the one thing. And when you're talking about the dialects, okay, it happens, you will feel lot of problems when you are translating the dialect. Okay, dialect is a kind of regional language, as we know that. Okay, so in that case also, some words you will not be possible, you will not you are it is not possible to translate as it is exactly, because those words are used by those particular region or that particular region or by those particular people. So in that case also, you can some alternatives or some of these synonyms in the standard language, we whatever we have from the source language, and in the target language also you can use. Okay, so in when my let when you feel this, when we feel in the translation that we don't have a particular translation for this particular word, particular proverb, idiom, whatever, then there is only option to use the alternative to convey the meaning. Again, we cannot use any random alternative. Okay, listen carefully. You should not use, okay, we don't have any similar meaning for this in the target language. What to do? Change it. Take any word, use it randomly, and translate it. No. Again, some of the alternatives, some of the synonyms, similar words we should use, but we need to take care whether it is going to be fit in that context. Understand my point? So this is also important. You cannot translate only the alternatives. Okay, you cannot use only the alternatives as per your convenience. Okay, so you have to take care of that, whether that particular verb is fit into the particular text or context, we can say. Okay, so I hope this I have cleared your doubt. Okay. Then the next one, lack of standard vocabulary. Okay, lack of standard vocabulary. Now we can see this language, any language you can take example, English, your language, French language, even Indian language. Languages have been changed over a period of time. Many updations many updations have taken place in the language. Okay, but some of the languages, like for example, take example of administrative language as well, legal language as well. These are the language, they use those particular their own standard words. Okay, whatever the words, like the earlier example, like verdict, law, act, victim, crime, criminal, sentence, okay, prison, these are all standard words in the legal system, and these words they use. Okay, but here, lack of standard vocabulary, it means that they don't have any updated words. Okay, whatever the language, like suppose for example, I'm talking about English. Okay, talking about English language. Now, language, in the English language, number of words have come. Okay, and then that have become very standard. Okay, some of the sentences we can use in a very standard way, or some of the words we can use as a standard of language. Okay, like the same one, in the legal system we don't have any updations. Okay, we don't have any new words. Maybe a little, or maybe some of the exceptional words are there in the system, but lack of standard vocabulary. Whatever the language we have as a standard words in the language of English, standard sentences in the English. Okay, whatever the updated version of language, that is not there in the legal system. Okay, so whatever the specific they have, specific vocabulary they have, they will use that. Okay, then alternatives are unavailable. Okay, that's it's absolutely correct point here, that alternatives are unavailable. Okay, the words like verdict or law, maybe in some cases you will find the similar words, alternatives, in the legal system, but more are the words, like you have that you will not be able to find any alternatives. Okay, in the target language, or maybe in the source language also, alternatives finds difficulty to convey the meaning. Okay, so in many cases, or in the some matters of legal system, and then, or maybe in some legal literature, you will feel when you actual translate the legal literature, then you will feel that alternatives unavailable, unavailability of the alternatives. Then the lack of legal translators, of course, the whole many of many of time I have seen or have observed from India also, as I'm telling you, and I already told you, India has a lot of language as per their own states. Okay, every state speaks a different language, or maybe this example is in your country also, whatever your country you are from. So maybe the regions, the provinces or the states, whatever you have, that you may also have a different specific language of that state. Okay, so here also we have this the same problem in India also, because all language of legal system and law system judiciary system is English. Okay, then very rarely people translate it. Very rarely we find that this the system of legal system officers or judge or courts are using their state language, or sometimes like their local language. Never used. I have seen a lot of time, or maybe you will be having the same experience in your country or maybe somewhere. Okay, the legal system have this particular language English in the most of the parts of the India also, and they run their day-to-day work in the English. Lot of time, many of time, but some of the cases, are in some of the exceptional cases, you can see some states or some of the judiciary system use the local language, but majority legal language system is in one language. So lack of legal translators, because everybody is using the same language. Okay, there is nobody is ready to translate, and that's why we don't have translators, and then we don't have translation. Then we just follow that particular source language, for example English, and we use and we read whatever you read, write in the source, that particular source language. So lack of legal translators is also a big part and challenge for this in the legal system. The last challenge is use of similar words in different translations. Use of similar words in a different translations. Okay, this is also a major challenge, because use of similar words in a different translation, maybe sometimes it is possible and sometimes it is not possible. Okay, same meaning word or synonyms, the alternatives, you can different use in a different translations, but it may have a different meaning. It may create some kind of confusion. It may create some kind of difficulties to understand. Okay, yeah, somebody
Professor,
saying that.
yes, I have a query. For example, there are some words which have the same meaning. For example, I can use advantages, merits, pros, and so on and so forth.
Hmm.
Is it
Hmm.
okay if I perhaps try to see how to uh, calibrate them into one word or something like that? Because the way you're saying
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
you can
if
use.
it's a challenge to translate, it's a challenge to translate words, especially similar words or the same words.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, you can use the similar words. No problem. There's no doubt. Like, whatever you are using, like, for example, advantages and merits. Absolutely fine. You are using the similar word, and that both the words are conveying the same meaning from the context. Okay, from that whatever sentence you are using it. Yeah, like advantages of technology, merits of technology. The same meaning is conveyed. Okay, all right. So you can use it, but according to the context you can use it. Okay, so absolutely fine. You can use it. Okay, so challenges in translation, no problem. Okay, you can ask any question in between. I'm ready to answer. It doesn't mean that you are disturbing the class. Absolutely fine, because these are the counseling sessions. So absolutely fine. No any problem. Okay, you can ask any questions in between also. Any other students as well. Okay. Then these after the challenges, what we require as a translator. Okay, requirement in legal translation. Of course, some of the requirements are there. Now, what are the requirements? Those requirements. Let's see. Knowledge of source language and target language. See, again, the common part is coming here. Knowledge of source language and target language. What it means? Knowledge of that language, knowledge of that particular language words, idioms, phrases, linguistic elements, both language, source language and target language. So knowledge of target language and source language is highly compulsory. Okay, so because it is not only the random task of translating something and leaving it away. No. Okay, so you should have a good knowledge of source language and target language. In order to translate any type of legal material needs language command or knowledge of grammar of target language. Okay, knowledge of source language and target language, this is the basic point. Okay, so you should have a good knowledge about all the legal materials matters. Okay, words, whatever the situations, whatever, like, whatever the norms, rules, regulations, whatever we have, we should have a good knowledge about these all things under the term this language of source language or a target language. Okay, so it's a basic requirement. You should have a good knowledge about this, because legal system also have subcategories. Okay, like, family, family law, criminal law. Okay, then property law. Okay, business law. These all rules, regulations, legal systems have different categories in between also, within the legal system also. So that's why, just your it doesn't mean that you are translating of a crime story or a crime incident or a crime case from the court. Okay, so it doesn't mean that, but the related things also, related points, concepts also matters in the translation. So you should be aware about the other systems, other categories of the subcategories of the crime, subcategories of the legal system subjects. Okay, so we should know about these all the things. Okay, as in the target language also and in the source language also, whatever we have. Understand? Then the second one, knowledge of legal system or legal subject. Okay, as I told you, command on various subcategories of legal matters. Okay, not only language how we use in the particular category or particular subcategory, but also the knowledge of that particular subcategory subject. Okay, like for example, you are translating the crime novel or crime incident or crime report, crime case. Okay, now whatever the crime is there, whatever the crime happened in that particular case. So it doesn't mean you have good knowledge about that and only you translate that. Maybe some references will come from different laws, different acts, different commissions. Okay, now whatever, like, some part of property will come, some part of, like, business will come, some part of, like, family will come. So all the legal matters related to each other, because these all subcategories of the crime, sorry, subcategories of the legal system are interconnected with each other. So it should not be like that. You should have a good knowledge about one subject only, the subcategory of legal system. Okay, the crime. Okay, the family law, criminal law, whatever, the property law. It doesn't mean that you should have a very only one language or only one knowledge of that particular subject. You should understand and you should have a good command over the subcategory subject also. Then the need to pay attention to the legal words and expressions. Okay, same meaning should be conveyed by the words and expressions. So you should have a good practice of using the expressions or particular expressions and words from that particular legal system. Okay, because why? Because it conveys same meaning. There is no confusion in the legal system. Whatever judge want to tell, he will tell in a particular word, particular sentences, which will be understandable by police, public, lawyers, and all the people concerned with the legal system. Okay, so there is no any word, sorry, there is no any other meaning. So that's why legal words and expressions that you should know exactly what are the meanings of that, and you should have good practice of using those legal words and expressions. Okay, so the need to pay attention to the legal words and expressions is highly important also, as a requirement of the translator. And then the last one, authentic vocabulary use, legal words and technical words used in the translation. Okay, authentic vocabulary, whatever the words are there, which words only belongs to the legal system, that words which will be used in the translation. Okay, no any other words that you are taking from other language and then translating it, or maybe in the, using using the words as alternative. No, you cannot do that. Okay, so some of the authentic words from legal system, legal register, legal literature, legal dictionary, we can say. So we can use those words only because those words create a particular, a specific meaning in the communication of in the communication of legal system. Okay, so these words will be there everywhere in the legal literature. Okay, so these are the four I have written, but you, when you go through your study material, you will find many more. Okay, requirements, or maybe you can go through the more points also. So these are the requirements in the legal translation. Okay, before starting here, any doubts before going to the next slide? Any doubts, any question you would like to ask? That's good. Fantastic sign of the understanding something, that you are asking question in between. Somebody is asking many questions. I like it. Okay, if you want to ask anything, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor. Mm, I had a question.
Hmm.
Hello.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yes. Go ahead, go ahead. Come
when
again.
you're translating, for example, legal documents, are you
Hmm.
supposed after translating it, are you supposed to attach the document itself from the original language, or are you supposed to say that this document has perhaps been translated uh, from Spanish to French on the document, something like that? I Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. No need to attach any documents with the translation, your translation, because it will come to know from the title of the translation. Okay, but if you're doing the necessary the legal translation in the government field, okay, in the administration or of the government in your country, or maybe any countries government, if you're doing the translation in that particular government firm, so it may necessary to attach your the source language document with the translation. But in general you need not to attach anything with your translation, because whatever you're giving the title to your translation, that will convey what kind of translation is about. But for the reference, generally this happens in the government field. Okay, when somebody is translating as a government employee of government, okay, as a government translator, so in some cases this happens. Okay, and in some cases it is necessary to keep the source language text or material, the papers, documents, what we have with your translation as a reference. Okay, as a reference. But you are in a very general way, I would tell you this, because there is no need to attach anything with your translation, because the title of translation itself convey the message, what this translation is all about. Okay, so no need you're translating it, but you can for the reference, if necessary, if need, if it is needed, highly needed, then you can attach it. But in a very general way, no need of attachment any source language document.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor, for explaining that. Now that is clear.
Yeah, yeah, that's great. Okay,
And again,
anybody?
Professor,
Yeah.
another question is, for
Hmm.
example, because translation and interpretation move hand in hand,
Translation and,
isn't it? Translation and
sorry,
interpretation,
interpretation.
translation
Yes, yes,
and
yes.
interpretation move hand in hand, isn't it?
But yes, correct.
Yes. So, take for example, you have been invited in courts of law, and you have to interpret for someone in courts
Hmm.
of law.
Hmm.
How do you go about it? Do you perhaps go
No, no.
word by word?
See,
Do you?
see, if you Yeah, yeah, I got your question. See, since we say the both the things are, in some extent are same. Okay, translation and interpretation. Okay, but still there it has some kind of difference. Okay, see, as an interpreter, what you need to do, you need to translate the words, the convert the words in the different language, in the another language. So, for example, I'm an interpreter with you, so you speak French language, and I can understand French and English also. So I am with you as a interpreter. Okay. So in that case, I only transfer the language, transformation of language. Okay. Transfer the word, transform the words, the meaning of the word. Okay, something is happening here, somebody is asking something, or you are telling to somebody. So interpreter will only convey, or translate the meaning from one language to another language. That is a particular thing. Then in but in the translation, you also need to take care about the emotions, expressions when you translate. Okay, interpreter only help you to understand the language of other person or language of other things. Okay, interpreting a book, I only help you in the understanding the book. So I will not go in deep to understand the hidden meaning, the connotative meaning, contextual meaning. Okay, I only give the message. What is it about? What he is saying you. That is interpretation. Okay, but translation, it is in a more deep way. When we think about emotions, expressions, background, these all things will come into the translation. So when you are translating it, you will translate each and everything related to the to that text. Okay, emotions, expressions. Okay, the background, social culture aspects. Okay, everything. I hope that this is clear. Translation and interpretation, on the very surface level, looks very same, but in some extent, they have some kind of differences like this. Okay, so let's if you don't have any questions, so let's go to the next slide, and then again we'll move on to the question answers. Okay. Okay. After the legal sector, or after the legal field of translation, here we have another one, banking language or banking literature and translation. Banking is another field of translation where translation requires in a huge way, as bank is everywhere. Banks are everywhere in each country. Okay, it's a part of government, it's a part of administration in the in any country, we can say. Okay, but as per as we have a huge number of banks, then again the literature of bank, language of banking, okay, the system of banking, the banking system. So everything is completely again a different field, as we have a legal system. Okay, so similarly, like legal system, banking is a different system, and in that also we need a a huge body of translators. Okay, number of translators are now in. I don't know about your country, but in India generally, there was no any need of the translator in the banks, because there was a system of language experts in the bank also. But nowadays, number of translators also, are being hired by the different banks to have a good communication among the different states and different languages of the states. Okay, so banking also a emerging a sector of the development, what we say, development of the country. So in that case also, in this field also, needs a translation task. Okay, now what is it, uh, is this also a kind of different field, we can call it. So let's see some of the what kind of banking language we have. Maybe you are aware with the banking language in your country. Maybe most of the banks are using, most of the bank use English language basically. But maybe in your country, you may have seen some of the banks are using their local language as well to conduct the administrative work. But majority, the majorly all the countries or many states countries use the English language in the banking also. Let's see how their language is this. Number one, spatial banking vocabulary is used. Okay, as we have this in the law, in the legal system or in the legal literature, we have seen some of the specific vocabulary. So similarly, here also in the banking, we have some of the similar words which we use. Okay, for example, like for example, token, passbook, cash, check, vouchers, drafts, okay, beneficiary, okay, remitters, like cash counter, okay. So some specific words, some specific vocabulary is used in the each sentence of the banking language, okay. So these are the examples: token, passbook, cash, ATM card or cards, okay, cash cards, cash vouchers, checks, vouchers, demand drafts, okay. And then these are the all these words, and maybe a number of words we have here. So these are the examples of the banking vocabulary. Then use of spatial expressions, okay. Now expressions you may find in the bank, okay, written on the walls in the bank, and the different counters, okay. You can see some of the words or some of the sentences as an expression we can say. You see this example: account closed, cash counter, okay, sealed, okay, the depository section, okay, withdraw or counter or cash withdraw counter, okay. These all words which we can find on the walls of the bank, okay. Or maybe different words or expressions you may see in the bank when you visit the bank, okay. Then the specific sentence structure, okay. They don't bother about the bank people don't bother about the grammar and the sentence structure and anything like that, but in their own language, own system of language, structure of language, they convey the meaning. Of course they follow some of the grammatical rule, but not more, not many times, like the words like the sentence structures, like for example, see this sentence structure here. Example: depositors are requested to take token, or take a token, tokens we can say, or token number we can say. So see the language, like say active wise, passive wise, or if you are familiar with the English grammar, the language of which we use this: depositors are requested to take tokens, a different kind of sentence which we cannot see in the regular use of language, okay. In the regular use we use a different language, okay. Depositors are requested to take tokens. When you listen this, absolutely you will 100% you will feel like something different sentence. The grammatical something different structure you may find in this particular uh, words or sentences in the bank, okay. So banking language and translation is the few points I have made here on the screen. So this is also important. How these languages this. Then move on to the challenges in the banking translation. Okay. Bank challenges in the banking translation and challenges in the different fields also we have seen. So this is also a different part here. What are the challenges here? Number one, choosing the right word due to less known words, okay. See, all the fields, okay, except the social science and humanities, arts, fine arts, except this language, literature, except these subjects, the rest of the fields have their certain its certain own vocabulary, words, and sentences, what we call for this, okay. So similarly banking also, sometimes choosing number of words is difficult, choosing the right words is difficult, okay. Due to what? Due to less known words, because a specific vocabulary is there. There is no alternative, like what we say for there is no alternative word for the cash. There is no alternative word for the check, draft, beneficiary, okay, checkbook, passbook, of course. There's no any other alternative for this, but we have to use those words only because we don't know. Maybe there are words like words for the there are some of the synonyms for this word for the cash, whatever we call, maybe in that language, but we don't know. Generally on the very basis level or the very surface level, we have some of the words and which is accepted quickly, understandable by the other people, other listeners quickly. So that is very important here. So choosing the right word due to less known words is sometimes create some kind of difficulty in the translation. Then the number two, translation of common sounding words. Example, check. Okay. Now it is the what we say that in the translation you may feel like uh, if you don't know the linguistic patterns or linguistic words or linguistic elements, then you will be facing a huge problem in the translation, because sometimes we pronounce some words similarly, but its spelling and meaning is completely different. In that case, while translating this, you may feel the problem. For example, see the check, Cheque. The word check. It's a what do we say that? What is the check? A different kind of a special kind of paper, which we on which we write some of the amount and we signed it and we submit it in the bank and we get the money. Check. See the pronunciation of check and take the one more similar word for this check. Check. Okay. Check your inbox. Check your pocket. Check your bag. Check your book. Okay. Check your bank account. Okay. Check and the check. Same pronunciation, but the written form is completely different, and of course the meaning is different. So sounds may create some kind of problem while translating it. Okay, so translation of common sounding words, example checks, is difficult for the in the translation. Then the third one, lack of uniformity in the language. Okay, uniformity, similarity in the language, or uniqueness or integrity in the language, you may not find in the banking language. Okay, all the documents, all the written form, written words, written communication, like emails, writing some letters, everything will be in a different form. Okay, so in the banking, because the topic is different, matter is different, then the banking people write in a different way, different language, which we cannot see in literature, in any other books in the social sciences also. What is the motto, what is the objective of the banking people? To translate the meaning, sorry, to convey the meaning. So in the conveying the meaning of the process of conveying the meaning, so they don't bother about the other things, about the language elements or linguistic elements. They only think about the conveying the message. They want to tell something, and they will tell from their own language or whatever language they have, with using some different terminology. Then the specific terminology is used. Okay, as I said you, that check, we can call it the check only, we can call it cash for the cash only. Specific words, so cash, check, depository, okay, balance account, saving account, current account, demat account, these specific words are only used in the bank only. So you cannot use it in the any other translation. If you are translating any other literary words or any other text, so specific use of specific terminology. Specific expressions also in the bank. Okay, depositors, um, name of the depositors, like see the examples of the such kind of sentences. Name of the depositors, address of the depositors. Okay, description of the money, description of the amount, or whatever the notes and coins we are using it. So these all expressions will be very specific in the banking language. Then the last one, translation of abbreviation and symbols in the language. So banking people, banking language have lot of abbreviations. They write number of abbreviations while writing the writing something about, like, whatever the banking materials or matters we have. So to convey the meaning, banking people will understand. Okay, the banking people will understand the abbreviations whatever we're using. Like for example, from one bank to another bank, if they are communicating in their language, whatever the language, banking language they have, so they will understand. But in the many of um, banking language or mails, literature, whatever banking reports, annual reports, the cash, whatever they related to the cash. Okay, whatever we have that. So if I am a translator, I need to know the abbreviations first, because every abbreviation in the bank have different meaning. Okay, so writing long sentences, long amount.
Professor,
Yeah.
hello,
Yes, yes.
hello.
Go ahead. Go.
And yes, I'm saying, for example, if you're translating bank documents, take for example, there is an audit report you've been given, and
Uh,
it's in language X, and then they tell you to translate it to
mm,
language Y. Because it's an audit report, it has to be attached with the figures, and these figures are perhaps in their local currency. Let's say I'm using the
mm,
USD, and I'm translating the document from English to
mm,
French, and I'm acutely
mm,
aware that I will use maybe uh, euros. Is it okay if I translate
mm,
it from USD to euros? Is that in order? Because I've done some translations, and when it comes to that, I am usually lost. I don't know. Please guide.
mm. Yes, yes, yes. The symbols, as I told you, as I'm telling you, that some of the expressions, some of the symbols, okay, some of the abbreviations. Okay, see this. For example, if you can write the dollars also. Okay, for example, $50. So I can generally write like 50 and a symbol of dollar. Why I'm writing it? I'm just making it like, kind of symbol, or maybe making it an abbreviation. Okay, instead of writing a long word like $50, okay, using here symbols. Okay, so similarly, in your banking translation also, but you should have good knowledge about the symbols. Okay, whatever the euros and whatever, because if you write something and if you don't know, instead of writing dollars, you have put some of the one symbol of euro. Okay, then it is like, going to be difficult in the translation, or whoever is going to read. Okay, so you should have a good knowledge about the symbols, and you can translate the symbols also. Okay, so challenges in the translation is this, that you should have a good knowledge about symbols. Whatever the symbols of symbol of dollar, symbol of euro, symbol of pound, symbol of rupee, some symbol of dinar, all the symbols we have in the banks. And in the translation, you can use that symbols, but the challenge is this: you should know about the symbol. If you are writing $50, so only dollar symbol should be there, and you can translate it, no problem, absolutely fine. You can translate the symbols also. Okay, but the knowledge of symbol, you should not write, instead of writing $5 or $50, and you are writing in the symbols like, you are translating the symbol, like you are putting the symbol like euro or maybe pound, so the meaning will be different, or maybe there will be that point will make you to lead the huge disaster. Okay, some huge mistake will be happening in such kind of translation. So absolutely fine, wherever it is necessary, wherever it is or needful, you can use the symbols of the bankings, or symbols of the, or abbreviations of the banking. You can absolutely, you are free to use those abbreviations and symbols. But as we are discussing it, the challenges, these are the challenges in the translation. Many of time, only see this, dollar is very popular, so most of the people understand what is the symbol of dollar. But if you ask your friend, if you ask to any, like, any friends, or many maybe anybody, colleague or whatever, what is the symbol of pound, what is the symbol of Kuwaiti dinar, okay, what is the symbol of real, okay, these are the all currencies, okay, whatever we have countries in the world. So we rarely know the symbols of or abbreviations of the currencies or even currencies. We only know some pounds and dollars and this. So as a translator, you should know the symbols, abbreviations, okay, the identifications of the currency, okay, and then you can translate accurately. You will not having any difficulty, you will not mismatch the meaning, you will not make any difficulty problem in the translation if you have a good knowledge about abbreviations and translations, abbreviations and symbols also. Understand my point? So these are the major challenges as you are asking the question how to translate it. The basic thing, you should have a good knowledge about symbols, good knowledge about these all things. Of course. Okay. Okay. So these are the challenges, and the next we have the field of next field is translation in tourism. Okay. So let's see. This is also a different kind of field of translation, where now most of the people are getting jobs in this particular field, translation in tourism. Okay, so here we have some of the categories. Okay, this is also a particular field, but where here we have some of the categories of translation, because as we see, if I say banking translation, then you will translate only banking language, banking words, banking vocabulary, sentences. Okay. When I say legal system translation, so you will only translate from the legal system, legal words, legal sentences, the acts, different acts, rules. Okay. The codes, we can say code of conduct, we can say whatever different. But in the tourism, we have some of the categories. Okay. Tourism is the best option nowadays to for the translator and for the interpreters. Okay, a lot of countries, lot of societies now are developing their tourism business as a part of the development in the modern world, and result of that, they need people, they need a different interpreters, a different category of translators to develop in a more better sense. Okay, so opportunities in a translation, in the field of translation we have. So these are the categories generally. So in each category we need a business, we need a translator. Okay, in these fields, religious tours, of course, then persons who is there a good knowledge, who has good knowledge about religion, then he will be a good translator in the religion tours. So maybe many people they like to visit the religious places in India, places in Arab countries, some of the places in USA, European countries, some of the countries like Israel. Okay, see, all over the world in the on the earth, we have number of religious places. So people from different countries, society, culture, they love to visit the religious places. Okay, and in that place, at that place, they need translators. Okay, you may I'm not sure about you, but I have observed in India, number of people come to visit Taj Mahal even today. Okay, even today, whenever they have holidays, vacations, they visit number of different places in India. For example, Taj Mahal, and in that Taj Mahal, they cannot speak any local language, or nobody is there to speak with them their own language. So in such cases, whoever has a good knowledge about the religious or that particular historical place, good knowledge about that, and then they can translate to the people. So these are the categories: religious tours, social and geographical places and their tours, cultural tourism, cultural translation we can say, business tourism, wildlife tourism. Now I have only put some of the, okay, but we have number of categories we can have in the translation. We can have as an opportunity in the translation. Okay, whoever has a good command over religion, so he can be a good translator as in the religion tourism or religion tours. Whoever has a good translation or good command over the geographical knowledge or geography of that particular country, place or society, culture of that particular place or country, so he will be a good translator in that particular field. So cultural also, business tourism. Okay, business tourism, lot of business places, huge business places we have in India. So in India also and in the European countries or maybe in your country also. So whoever has a good command over cultural business, sorry, cultural knowledge, then and business knowledge, they can go and talk about their their command about the culture and business, and they can translate to the people. Wildlife, a lot of people love to visit the forest. They love to go for the trekking on the mountains, to go love to go to wander in the jungles, forests, okay, to see different kind of creatures, insects, animals, okay, or maybe different kinds of plants, trees, okay. So people love this also, and in that sector and in that field also people have a good opportunity of having a good job as a translator. Okay, so one can get the opportunity to be as a guide and interpreter in these all fields. Okay, so tourism is emerging branch of development of any country. If you go to Thailand, a lot of tourism is there. If you come to India, a lot of tourism places, or you can visit some places we have in India. If you go to some of the countries in Arab states, sorry, Arab countries, so you will find there also different places or different categories of the tourism. So overall, what I'm trying to tell you this, tourism is a special sector that is coming out recently, from recently or recent years, from recent few years, and it has a huge opportunity to be a good translator for the people, because everything people cannot understand in their target, in their source language. Okay, so as an interpreter or as a guide of these particular sectors, these particular fields, we can have a good, we can translate in a good way, and we can help to the people to get good knowledge about different sectors or tourist places and the categories of tourism also. Okay, so these are the things. Okay, I think without extending the things ahead, I think I should stop here, because uh, 3 4 sectors and fields we have talked about. Okay, then the rest of parts, again, whatever we have the fields, will continue in the next session. Let's move on to the question answer. If you have the last 10 minutes or 15 minutes, will be, I'm keeping last 10 minutes and 15 minutes to for the question answers only. So let's go to the question answer sessions. If you have, please ask questions.
Yes, thank you very much, Professor, for this wonderful lecture. Professor, I've always been requesting and asking us for you to share with us the videos and these lectures, so that we can perhaps, in our free time, get to read and revise to see how we can better up and also revise.
Yeah, but
Kindly
did
share
you
with
go
us
to
these videos.
yes, yes. But did you visit this LMS portal? Because we have, I mean, already uploaded of the all the videos, whatever we have done it so far.
Which photo are you talking about? The one I have is the one I have, Professor. Hello.
Yes, yes, I'm listening you. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm saying the one I'm using is in Indian, so I don't know which one you are talking about. In fact, if
It
you
is
can
not e-GAN
agree,
course.
I
It
can.
is your LMS portal of e-Vidya Bharati, EVBB, e-Vidya Bharati. There, these videos are uploaded. Our computer person is making a video how to access LMS. In on Monday or Tuesday, the short video will be sent to you all how to access assignments on LMS portal, how to access the videos, or how to write assignments and how to upload them. All these things he is making a short video on Monday or Tuesday. He will be sending to you.
Mhm.
Sir, our today's tomorrow's session will be at 3:30, no, sir.
Yes, yes, sir. So,
Dear
yeah,
students, tomorrow the session will be at
Prof,
3:30. Kindly
Professor,
attend.
yeah, Kirag is,
hello.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Professor, this is what I'm saying. This is my portal. This is my portal. So you can see, I can't see the videos.
Sir,
I am listening, but I am not the computer person. On Monday, I will request him to come to the session and explain you, or if possible, tomorrow also. Okay.
Thi- This is my portal, so I can't see the videos. And again, as I said last time, all my units here, if you see, they are in Indian,
No problem. Wait till tomorrow. He will show you.
like this. So you see, all this is Indian.
mhm.
All this. If I open one, for example, let me open one randomly, so
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you
yeah.
can get
Yeah,
what
yeah,
I'm
understood,
talking
understood.
about.
Understood.
So,
Okay.
so I think you can see. Uh,
Okay.
hello.
Yeah. Okay, Kiraga. Listen, listen, Kiraga.
Yes.
Yeah, do one thing.
Hello.
That's okay. So it is difficult to tell you this on the screen, where to go and what to do. Okay. So sir was saying this. He will request that person to make a short video how to access the videos whatever we have done the sessions. Okay. So wait for tomorrow. Maybe for wait for tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So we will be able to upload a short video, or we will send you the short video how to use your own LMS portal. Okay, so don't worry, you can just wait for tomorrow. Let's see, the computer expert will he will make a short video and he will send it to you, and then you go through that video, and then you can have access of the lectures, the what we did. Okay.
Okay, that's in order. I will highly appreciate if it is even done as early as before the end of this week.
Yeah, yeah, sure. No, no, tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So we'll try to give you the access. Okay.
And also, I had suggested some time back, if it is possible, for example, if we can have the university emails, because I personally love doing research as my field. If you want to access some papers, for example, on ResearchGate, it's very hard. They will automatically tell you, please sign in with your university email, and it's quite disturbing. If you don't have it, then you have to, of course, chip in something small, and these facilities are here for us to use.
Okay. All right. All right.
Yes.
We'll try.
Um,
We'll try.
okay. That's all. Mine is to just thank you for the wonderful lecture.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
really cleared
Yeah.
some few things I had in my mind, especially when you are doing bank transactions, translating a document, and you have been given a document and you have to translate it. In this, I have been having such errors. For the purposes of this, I work with a number of institutions, including a language institution, where
Okay.
translation and interpretation is part of the services we provide.
That's great. That's great. That's great.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, but so you are getting the experience how to translate it. Okay. So translation is not
Yes,
just
I'm
a
getting the
task. Okay.
experience.
Maybe you. Yeah, maybe you are feeling like, if you're translating a particular thing, then how to translate that? Okay. Then if you're translating related some banking, like, text or whatever material, then you definitely you are feeling it like, how we can translate it. Okay. That's great. That's great. You're
Yes,
doing that.
and I also remember one of my colleagues asked a question last time that are we doing the exam on using Indian or English? And it was not responded to.
No, no, sir responded last time. Question somebody has asked this question. So he asked you to send an email. Okay, that what you prefer. You prefer for English, then they will reply you. Like, you mentioned the that in the mail that you're opted for the English. Okay, for this course, and then you can ask them, and then they will reply you whatever the examination department is there.
I have
Okay.
already explained in the last session that with
I
regards
think
to
like.
examinations, the
Hmm.
information will be sent to you from Director COE, not from the Regional Center Pune. This is Regional Center Pune. With the help of Professor Kamble, we are arranging the counseling sessions.
Yeah.
We remain for our assembly arranging counseling sessions and evaluation of assignments. With
Hmm.
regard to examination, COE will send you the information they will upload on the LMS portal. Please wait.
Hmm. All
Okay.
right.
Thank you very much. That's in order.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so with this note, we'll stop here for today and resume the session. But tomorrow's session will not be there at 6:30. Okay, so we just preponed the session. So be there around 3:30 Indian
It is
time.
intimated, sir. That is intimated to each and every student.
Yes, yes. Okay.
Have you received, Regan?
Yes, I received the email uh,
Okay.
clearly saying on 14th and 15th,
13 and
on
post
13th and
14, the
14th, sorry.
session timings are vice versa changed.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right, sir?
rescheduling
We
of
will remain here and meet tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
on 13th
Yes.
and 14th.
Yes.
Okay, thank
Okay.
you.
So, okay.